What do you think of when you hear the word improvisation? Now, this means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. For some, they immediately go to comedy. That's the most common association with improvisation. There's tons of improv houses all around the world. There's great TV shows like Curb Your Enthusiasm or Whose Line Is It Anyway? So there's a direct link for many that improvisation is comedy. For others, it's the scramble. It's what happens before the flop sweat. It's when the excrement hits the oscillator. What do we do at that time? And how do we just pull ourselves up by the bootstraps and make something happen? The reality is, improvisation is based in a set of core competencies. And for us, in business improv, the way that we define improvisation is on 3 core competencies: reacting, adapting, and communicating. Reacting, adapting, communicating. Reacting is focus and concentration and presence in real time on an ongoing basis. It's not a reaction. That's impulsive. That's a one-off. Reacting is ongoing. Adapting is if you're reacting within parameters or trying to achieve a specific outcome on the tail end of that, like in a strategy, for example, or a collaboration, a sales call potentially. You're reacting and adapting. Subroot to both of these is communicating, as we're not in space. We're not in a vacuum. There's always someone with whom we can react and adapt, or something in our environment to which we can react and adapt. And that's the skill set that we're going to focus on throughout this course. Improvisation, as it's defined by reacting, adapting, and communicating. Now, when you think about this definition of improvisation, let's expand this a little bit further to think about teams that improvise well. And this is what I want you to do. Think about concrete examples of teams that improvise well, not adjectives to describe teams that improvise well. What are real life examples of teams that improvise well? Now, what we've heard when asking this question, sports teams are a quick example of teams that improvise well. And you can pretty much pick any sport that's out there, and it pretty much relates to that. We've also heard military teams, special forces, first responders, EMTs, firefighters, police, elite chefs. You know, a lot of the cooking shows right now are what's in the basket? Let's open it up. Oh, surprise ingredients, make it work. And of course, parents, we hear very often as well. And the list will go on and on. Those are some examples, not the only examples. So whatever you chose and whatever I just gave out as an example, what I want you to do is think right now. Do any of these teams train? Do firefighters train? Police officers, special forces, sports teams? Do they develop plays? Do they study the strengths and weaknesses of their team? Are they checking in with each other? Do they think about the competition, the environment in which they're going to have to perform at the top of their intelligence to the best of their ability? You know, improvisation is not what happens when you just make things up in the moment. Improvisation is based in training. It's based in education. It's based in reps. Get the reps in over and over and over and over again. And that's what a lot of this course is going to be. Get the reps in. It's very much like riding a bicycle. It's not the first time you ride a bike. It's the 500th time that you ride a bike that it's pure unconscious competence. And that's what we're focusing on right now. Let's get the reps in so that we're super comfortable with how to react, adapt, and communicate in real time.